Welcome to another episode of Arsenal Above All. Arsenal just somehow managed to get through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup after what do you call that? A nervy, struggling, awful semi-final, nerve-wracking semi-final, quarter-final, sorry, against Crystal Palace, and some great penalties, some fantastic penalties, but Kepa did the business and saved from Lacroix, who is great karma. Great karma that was because obviously he's got a bit of history which we'll go into, but scoring the own goal and then missing the penalty. So we'll talk about that and a lot more. And I've got Steve with me tonight. How you doing, mate?
Relieved, and that's putting it politely. I hate watching penalties, Mike.
Yeah,
I hate watching penalties. Yeah. That was. Oh.
Yeah, pacing up and down the room, just trying to get other things to do. All of a sudden there's some washing in the kitchen I'm going to do, which I just wanted to leave and just chuck in the dishwasher. But all of a sudden I just felt like doing it because it is quite stressful. But yeah, thanks for joining me tonight, man. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for everyone watching as well. So let's get into it, man. A 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace, and after a first half, which some people are saying that it was a really, really good, performance in terms of how we sort of generated chances. But Steve, the chances we missed, man, is this going to be the story of the season so far, where we kind of not putting teams to bed, and that just leaves things open and a bit frenetic, and we've kind of been caught out a couple of times. We did it at the last home game against Wolves. We didn't so much against Everton, but we did tonight. Do you think, there needs to be some sort of a wake-up call maybe with this result, that we had to go to these this sort of situation, this scenario, because we're missing big chances. The XG tonight was, I think, 3.36 for us and 0.97 for Palace. What's your just takeaway from what you saw tonight, man?
Yeah, we really need to work on it, because I get what people might be thinking. That first half, it was a bit more free flowing. Gabriel Martinelli, I've said it to you before, Mike. He works really well with Gabriel Jesus. Like, they seem to just work well together. So he was our main creator in chief. He was doing everything. He had his I can't remember the guy's name. But he had him on toast, like, every single time. Put him on the floor once or twice as well, and you just sort of go, "Oh, yeah." But then there was that injury towards the end of the half. But we were better. We were creating more chances. We were creating more chances in the sense that I've not seen us create this many chances when Gyökeres is up front, for example. And yeah, it's Jesus. Like, I don't know. He's our striker, if you know what I mean. He Arteta loves him. He's a pressing striker. He does what Gyökeres doesn't do in terms of, constantly pressing those defenders, and doesn't mind dropping, doesn't mind running. Like, he does it all. The guy is super talented. But we were quite good that first half. I wouldn't say we were like outstanding or anything like that. I mean, the Noni Madueke miss. I mean, that first one, was it after like 5 or 6 minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
People might go, early in the game, first chance, you still got to score it. That's what you're there for. I think there was the Jesus header, a bit better luck, and that goes in.
Yeah. I'm just concerned, man. I'm just concerned with the whole, just the chances. We'll get onto that in a bit. But just got some comments in the chat. How you doing, everybody? Gudichik, evening, guys. Lady Luck was definitely on our side tonight. Yeah, because I was basically saw this story thinking, now that goalkeeper, he's just pulling off all these saves. Everything's getting shot straight at him, and obviously you've got a penalty shootout. We know that's how that's going to end, and thankfully it didn't go that way. Hente, great supporter of the channel, and great to see you, mate. I'm on the beer. How are you, mate? It's glad to be here this late because of the period of the year. Yeah, I think I'll be on something. I'm on the green tea at the moment, but I'll be on something stronger as soon as this show's finished, mate. After that was ridiculous. Brenny, big up, brothers. How you doing, Brenny? All good, mate. Charles, hello to you as well, mate. Good evening. And he says, tell me how this is possible when Jesus plays 4 shots in 45 minutes. Victor plays one shot barely all 90. I'm puzzled in those 4 shots what extra Jesus did. It's not like he himself. He don't because there were a lot of situations in that first half where the balls were being played down the side, as you saw, and generating a lot of chances. Martinelli was on fire, putting on some really good crosses as well, and that hasn't been the case with Gyökeres when he's been playing. I mean, I'll talk again. I mean, like I mentioned at the top, I think the story of the season has been this, where we've just not been clinical enough. Everyone else has not been clinical enough, and the guy that we've got who scored 100 goals in 2 seasons, who is clinical, isn't getting the service to sort of put games to bed, which is what we kind of had an issue with last season. Because if you look at it again, this is another draw, right? And this is what the situation which stopped us winning the league last year. If we convert half of those draws into wins, we win the league, right? But when you're looking at it, it's 1-1. It's another draw because we've not taken our chances, and it's repeating the same sort of situation that we had last year. Are you just worried about that, Steve? Because I was going to ask you, obviously with this being the last show before Christmas, what's your Christmas wish? What do you want to open under the tree? In a couple of days, Arsenal related, and I'll be just get a finishing coach. Just get Ian Wright down, get anyone down.
Thierry.
At the training ground and just drill them and just try and get these guys to get some kind of composure when they're in front of goal. But what's your thoughts on just the amount of chances we missed, and even going to the one that Timber had just before McGahey goes up and equalises?
Yeah.
Situation like that, just no kind of composure at all. I know he's a defender, but it just seems to go right through the whole team at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've made it. What's it? So Everton? No, not Everton. Wolves, Sunderland, Chelsea, and is there one more where they've all been late goals, and it's another late goal tonight.
Yeah,
and where we've taken the lead and then not seen off the game. Yes, you can say it's a bit of misfortune in terms of the finishing. Again, Jesus played well, had some good chances. Timber had that good chance. He had a good header in the first half. I think that was in the first half that he missed. It came to him, I think, because Martinelli put it through, and he came to him, and he had no one around him. So he was headed down. He's just headed it. And we had enough chances to I would say, clear-cut chances as well, not like half chances. We just didn't put the game to bed, and it's been like that a lot for most of the season. So if I'm going to hope for anything in the second half of the season, I'd say please bring me some comfortable results and like better finishing, because we can beat teams. That's the thing. We can beat teams, and if we're moving the ball as quickly as we were, especially in that first half, we were moving the ball a lot quicker than we have done in a lot of the league games, for example. If we can move the ball quickly and get the ball to the main strikers who will do the damage, like if we're getting in the ball nice and quick for Gyökeres to run onto, he's going to run onto him, and like again, more times out of 10, he's going to bully defenders into making a mistake and then getting a goal. But he's not getting that sort of chances. And when you look at the first half and how many chances we did have, and the ones that we did miss, like I said, they were clear cut. The Noni, the Timber one. I think who else someone else had a good one as well. But there were good chances, and we've got to finish those. And when we do go 1-0 up, we need to see our team turn the screw. Yeah, we need to see them just go, right, we're up. Let's put the pressure on and get that second goal. Keep the pressure on, get that third goal.
Yeah, it was getting comical at the moment. I mean, I think we created a really good bit of football when Madueke went through early on, and it's on his left foot, and he's just like a back pass. I just don't understand what these guys are doing. We see the training videos, which are really good, really put together, really, really well. And then you see the finishing, and you think, okay, well, they're actually addressing it. You're actually looking at the situation and trying to, get to the bottom of it and stuff. And then you get situations like that where they're just snatching at stuff, and they shouldn't be doing stuff like that, and they're hesitating as well. And it's like, well, what are you really doing? You know, I mean, in training. So I just think, you know, I was kind of thinking when it went to 1-1, I thought, okay, that's it. We're gonna get knocked out on penalties because that's how these kind of things go. But this has to be a massive wake up call to the team, because I thought everyone kind of played okay, but there were spells where they just were a little bit lax. And I don't know what Timber was doing in the first half. You know, he was wandering, he was on walkabouts, he was leaving a lot of space over on his side, and and he's popping over on the left hand side. And I was just wondering what he was doing. You know, a couple of passes, he just seemed a little bit lax, and I think it spread because it was kind of weird. It's like some players played well, you know, in large spells of the game, and then they just did something really silly, you know, like Miles did at the start of the second half. You know, he looked like he's building his confidence as the half went on. In the second half, he gets the ball over in the corner. Then if you remember, he just takes too many touches. He ends up losing the ball, and it's like really silly. I thought Saliba was really, really good. You know, he stepped up really, really well. I think the last 15 minutes of the game, I think he really sort of stepped up, and he looked like he really got the bit between his teeth. And then he has that one moment where he, the game's won, and then he just does that, you know, gives away that really silly, you know, free kick. And we know how dangerous they are, and set pieces that they've been. You know, they generated a few chances, and then obviously, yeah, we just fall asleep, and Norgard loses Gahey, and it's 1-1 and stuff. But I just thought tonight it was a weird one, a performance. I think it was almost like an element. It's like, okay, we can dial it down a bit. It's not the intenseness of the Premier League. You know, it's a cup game, and I think some players took their foot off the gas at certain moments of the game, if you get what I mean. And then they sort of, you know, and then they played well. You know, I thought Martinelli was really, really good, but let's hope that impacts injury he got on his knee, you know, he'll be back. You know, maybe not for Brighton, but hopefully we need him back for Villa, because that's going to be a big one. Just to
touch on Saliba, Mike, just very quickly. Yeah. When he makes a big mistake, it usually leads to a goal.
Yeah.
And that's probably just a bit of bad luck. I remember when Gabriel, I think I was saying to you, I remember when Gabriel was first starting with us, he'd make a mistake and it'd lead to a goal. Saliba was switched on for pretty much the whole game, but then that one moment. It's a silly free kick, you know. It's one that okay, but it's a free kick and it's led to the goal. But he did have that challenge on Mateta in the box. When Mateta could have been going through, and you know, he was just quicker.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He was really. I thought he had a good game. I thought he dealt with Mateta really, really well. I don't think Mateta was 100% fit. He was kind of managing himself through the game, but he played really well. I thought up to that moment. You know, he got involved in the goal as well. He was all over. You know, their back, their structure, whatever it was, and look how obviously he did what he did, put the ball in the back of the net. And as I was saying before, Arsenal karma. You know, I think if people don't remember when Saka got injured at Selhurst Park, he was shouting at Saka, like basically to tell him to get up, because he thought he was feigning an injury, and he was kind of standing over him and like shouting at him, telling him to get up, because there's that narrative, you know, that goes around that Saka's always going down and then he's always limping and stuff. And I thought, you know, who the hell are you? You know, so he did that. And obviously he scores his own goal, and then he obviously misses a penalty. So there you go. You got a bit on the arse twice tonight. So hopefully he'll have a nice Christmas after that. I mean, I'm petty like that, you know. So I'll say, but
it's the Michael Jordan in us.
Yeah, we took it personally. Yeah, you take it personally. You sort of disrespect Arsenal at your peril, really, because it always comes back to get you. But yeah, so hopefully, obviously, we've got to look forward to a tough one. You know, against the world champions, you know, probably underdogs going into that. I don't know why we're playing that, to be honest, against the world champions. You know, probably just say, what's the point in playing it? Might we just give them a walkover because they're so good? You know, so because obviously they beat us in that 1-1 draw, didn't they? You know, a couple of weeks ago. So you know, world champions, and it's gonna be tough. Gonna be tough. Gonna be interesting to see what the odds are for that. if you know if the bookies make us favourite. We won't be playing. Our mate Caicedo won't be playing in the first leg because he's banned. So it's going to be interesting to see what his head's going to be like in the second leg. Probably end up getting sent off in the warm up, maybe. Who knows? You know, and absolute muppet. But yeah, got to talk on the referee as well just tonight. I just thought Stuart Atwell. I don't know how he's still refereeing. One of the worst referees. I think he is the worst referee in the league. I remember years ago when he first started, he almost caused a riot because I think he let a goal in that wasn't a goal. The ball. It either hit the side netting or something, and he said it was a goal. And yeah, he always calls a right. And since then, I've kept an eye on him, and every time, you know, this guy, some of the decisions tonight was just absolutely ridiculous. Just kind of glad that we didn't. It wasn't, you know, on his hands because was he the ref for the Newcastle game when we lost 1-0 when the ball went out, and we didn't have him for a long time after that. So yeah, he's absolutely useless referee. He's got no sort of. No business being in that situation, refereeing a game like that, or being at that level.
I mean, look, I get that. Like the argument would always be, "Oh, look, he was letting the game flow and stuff like that." But even some of the basic calls, you go, "Okay, well, you should just that's a free kick. You should just like he just got none of it right. Even throw-ins, he couldn't even get throw-ins in corners right.
Corners, as well.
Just sort of go."
Crazy. Just crazy.
Like you're just guessing. Oh, you know what? No, give it against them. Can't bother. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was just shocking. I thought he had a terrible performance. And yeah, again, I'm not saying that like either of the penalty shouts that we had were penalties. I'm not like the handballs. You can argue to and against those. I'm not here to say that they were penalties. But even if you take those two decisions out, it was just shocking.
Yeah, he was poor. He was terrible. Absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. You know, but he's glad that I just you know, we need to point it out that, you know, we kind of got away with it a little bit at the weekend, you know, with some of the penalty shouts. You know, Zubimendi got a bit of trouble, obviously Saliba as well and stuff. But yeah, he was so bad tonight. And when he's doing things like and it seems like his officiating team get influence as well, because some of the decisions as well, like they should see, you know, when the ball's being headed out by Matete for a corner, and he's giving it to, you know, as a goal kick. It's just mental. But just what we mentioned that as well, that he was poor, because on my notes all I've got is Madueke chance, Martinelli chance, Jesus chance. Don't know what else to say really. Just we need to sort it out, man. You know, finishing has just been really abysmal, and it's been like that for a few games now. Especially when you look at the Wolves game, you know, both the goals coming from goals. The last goal we scored, you know, was a penalty. So again, nothing from open play. The goal tonight from a set piece, again, nothing from open play. So we need to. I don't know what's going on, but it needs to be fixed, man. It really needs to be fixed. Neil was there at the game tonight. How you doing, Neil? He's saying he's on his way back. Yeah, I don't think he particularly enjoyed it. Was getting frustrated with the chances. But before we end on a good note, obviously with it being Christmas, you saw the training vids. I'm not sure if you did or not, but obviously a familiar face was back, and Kai Havertz was there, and obviously all the rumours came out saying that there was a setback and that he'll be back in the new year. It looks like he's very close, Steve. What do you think it does for that? I mean, we can't really rely on his finishing because we've seen him miss big chances as well. But just it's kind of weird how we get in the attacking options back, and it's the defensive ones that seems to be dropping like flies. Hincapié was out today with possibly, I think he injured his shoulder against Everton. I don't know whether it's that or not, or whether it's just muscle fatigue. But what you thinking about having Havertz back and what that does to Gyökeres and everyone else?
You know what? We need our attacking options. Our attacking options give us gives Arteta a headache in terms of what should I do and who should I play. And it's great for competition for those players up front because they will all improve that little bit more just to try and get those starting minutes. It's a World Cup year, so Jesus, if he's got a chance of going to the World Cup, I think that's a big if because he's been out. But if he's got a chance, he'll want minutes, and if he's getting minutes, then he'll get his eye in for Ancelotti and the Brazil squad. Havertz, I'm pretty sure he's assuring for the Germany squad, but at the same time, he needs minutes. Germany won't take any passengers, and Gyökeres, I think Sweden are at the World Cup as well, are they?
No, they didn't qualify.
No,
I don't think they qualified. No.
Okay. Well. But still, they're all strikers and they need minutes. You know what? I was speaking to one of my Everton friends after. I think what was the Leeds score when Leeds beat? Who did Leeds beat? Like the other over the weekend, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was speaking after the game. Yeah,
4-1.
Yeah. Sorry, of course it was.
Yeah,
but it beat. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was speaking after the game, and he said, "You know what? He gets on and does his job, but playing up front by yourself is sometimes, a difficult task. But when you've got somebody playing with you, sometimes it makes it a lot easier. Yeah. And I'm just wondering if there's going to be opportunities to see us go with two up top.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think they will. I think, especially at home, you'd think. We've got the big team, a lot of the big teams to come. Obviously, we've got Liverpool coming up in the 8th of January. So. But I wouldn't expect it in that game. But you can see it. You got Portsmouth. That could be one to try it as well away. They're struggling at the moment. So yeah, it just gives him options. But you just want us to have a full bill of health for at least a couple of months into the season. 2 or 3 months of the season. I mean, it'd be how amazing would it be to have everybody back, March going through to the end of the season. I can't remember the last time we've had that. We've always had somebody out for a period of time. But it wouldn't be great to have that sort of, selection headache where you can actually keep players out, rest them for some of the games and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting because I think he offers a hell of a lot, obviously. But I just think the problem is we just need to get more clinical in that box, and we've got one of the most clinical strikers in Europe, and we're not feeding him, and that's playing a part into it. And there's situations we're generating some situations like we did against Everton, and I'll say it again, Timber should have squared that to Gyökeres, with that opportunity, and he did it a couple of minutes later, but he shouldn't have done it because the defender was kind of closer to him to block it. But yeah, he's making the runs. We've just got to find him. And I think, like as Charles said tonight, he said, Jesus gets all these opportunities. Get all these balls played to him. It's almost like they've put they put on a old comfy pair of slippers and they know exactly how it feels and know exactly what to do again. Whereas they've got a new guy, and it's like, well, it's not hard. The guy's making the runs. Odegaard does that for someone like Haaland for Norway. He's always picking Haaland out. Obviously, I'm not trying to put them on the same level, but you've got someone there who's making kind of similar runs on the shoulder and stuff. So it's no excuse, because if you say it is an excuse, they can't. What are they doing at training? I keep going back to that. What are they doing in training with this guy if they're struggling to find him in the game? I don't get it.
That's the thing, Mike. You look when Odegaard came on. One of his first balls was all in, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and you go, oh, so you can do it.
Yeah,
like even with the Madueke chance in the first half, you go, that's a quick ball in, so it can be done. But like I said, Gyökeres just doesn't get those quick balls in.
No.
I don't know why they're not. Like we're fans, okay? We're fans, so we've seen clips of Gyökeres' goals and some of his games or bits of his games last season and the season before. I know you followed him quite a bit. So we've all seen it. It's those quick balls. So it's like let him run onto it. Yes, against low block teams you can't necessarily do that, but there will even in those games there will still be an opportunity to play that ball in, and it just doesn't get played in.
Yeah.
So he's literally got nothing to feed off. What he does well is he doesn't give up. He does make defenders think, which does draw defenders to him, which especially at the beginning of the season was opening up play for our wider players to do a bit more damage. And but they just need to find him. I'm hoping second half of the season. That's what Santa brings. Chance for your Chris.
Hopefully, hopefully, in the new year, we may be looking at see who goes in or out the exit door, because obviously a lot of talk about Semenyo. Looks like he's going to be off to City. So obviously he's probably looking forward to playing some Championship football next season. Maybe we'll see what happens there. But tonight, obviously Zubimendi didn't play, which is kind of good, because he's almost like getting a winter break, really, because he's used to it. Obviously playing in Spain, he's not going to obviously have one over here. No minutes for Gyökeres tonight, which again is kind of good. So obviously those two will start against Brighton, but no minutes for Ethan. What's your thoughts on that? Is it what would you say in that regards? Because is it likely that there's rumours saying that he could go out on loan somewhere? Do you think that's the right thing to do? Do you think that's the right thing to do for his development? But is it because you're just worried that we'll let him go and then all of a sudden we'll have a spate of injuries in his position, and then we'll kind of won't do without him? What are you thinking of that? Because I'm concerned about the lack of minutes he's had in the last week. He just hasn't featured at all, has he?
I don't know. I think both him and even Miles to an extent as well. I know Miles played tonight and has played a little bit more than Ethan.
Yeah.
I worry because when you're young and you're like the season before and they were getting minutes and they were getting game time, I think for Ethan it came just around that Real Madrid game, the first leg, when you sort of go, oh look, we're up here, he can come on. Oh, he doesn't come on. We're at the Bernabeu, we're winning. There's like even a couple of minutes, just get the kid on. I didn't bring him on in either game. That's a bit weird. I don't think it's anything to do with either of their attitude. I think Arteta's, as the season has gone on, I think he's reverted back to that. I can only trust these players, so I'm only going to use these players as much as I possibly can. And even if we're 5-0 up, I still may not risk one of these younger players coming on, which is just crazy. Like Norgard tonight, I thought Norgard played quite well. And you sort of go, oh, so actually we can put him in and we can trust him to do a decent enough job there in some of the games, especially games where it's, I don't know, like Brighton, for example. So if you wanted to rest Zubimendi again and give him a bit more of a break, you could just go, yeah, we could stick Norgard in there. We trust him. You could stick Ethan in there and go, we trust him. But I don't know what it is. And for the player's development, he needs to play. Ultimately, he needs minutes. And if we do let him go out on loan, I don't know. We need to. I hope that he goes out on loan to a team that's going to play him and give him the minutes that he needs. But if he then comes back and Arteta goes, yeah, you're going to play, and then next season it's the same, then we've wasted a player.
Yeah. It does seem like it's likely that he's probably going to end up going out, because he's not getting any time at all, and he needs to be getting some minutes. Again, when you look at the footage in training, I know it's only a snapshot, but some of the finishing drills that he was doing, he was unbelievable, on both feet and everything as well. So it looks likely that he's going to probably go out somewhere. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens, if that happens, and when he comes back, where he feels, because obviously he signed that contract, hasn't he? Him and Miles. So obviously we've not got to worry about anyone trying to come in with a contract running down situation. But it is a bit of a shame that he's not being trusted with any minutes, which I think is the key thing. But we're through to the semi-finals, obviously against the world champions. We've got no chance, so we went all through that tonight against to play against them. So oh well, it was a nice run anyway. I
mean, positives, Mike. We scored 8 quality penalties. But now we're going to play the world champions of their world.
Of everything. Yeah.
Not only the world champions, they're the world champions. These are world champions of the world. And So yeah, we've got no chance. We're just going to turn up and then just hope for the best, and plucky underdogs and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. All of that. But yeah. So let's hope we recover. Obviously, buzzing of what we've done tonight, getting through, and take care of business against Brighton, who we kind of owe a bit of a payback on the way they behaved the last couple of games, especially with that manager of theirs. We drew twice against them last season, didn't we? So, we dropped some big points there. So, hopefully, yeah, we'll have our shooting boots on and try and put them to the sword a little bit, and then do the same when we play Villa, because we need to get some revenge there as well. It's good that that's still fresh in the memory, because you're kind of hoping that are we kind of saving it till then. I wouldn't mind that.
It's the sort of game I want Gabriel for.
Yeah.
He's like us, like he's petty. He won't when you forget it, and you
need Havertz on the bench as well, man, if possible. Just for just to see him there, just would be a boost to everyone as well. So let's see. But no, thanks, Steve. Thanks for your time tonight. I know it's a quick one, but obviously I've still got bits and pieces to do around his house, elf on the shelf and stuff like that, all that nonsense.
You my shopping today.
Yeah. When you've got four of them to move around, then it's quite a lot. And thank the missus for that. Keep on getting one every year. But I've got to do all that nonsense and try and get the house sorted out before the missus comes back. The mess that the kids have made. Obviously, they're buzzing for tomorrow, because obviously it's New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. Sorry, New Year's Eve. Trying to wish my life away. Christmas Eve and all that madness that happens with that. So, Steve, wishing you a Merry Christmas to you and yours. Wishing a Merry Christmas to everyone that's watching, and just hope everyone has a really good Christmas, and we'll be back hopefully before the New Year. Obviously, you've got Charles as well, another one. Tell me my favourite penalty today. Mine is Declan's. Steve, and yours as well. I like Declan's, but I was kind of I kind of liked. I think all of them were kind of done well. I think Saliba's one was good. I know he kind of looked a bit dodgy, but I thought the fact that he kind of said afterwards that he kind of made a mistake for their equaliser. He done well to do that. But yeah, it was a great set of penalties, and fair play. Palace took theirs ones as well. So
I'll go with Timber. Timber's one was hit quite hard.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely levered that ball.
Good. So the clinical from 12 yards out. So if they can get their chances to drop in that area, then we're sorted. Just get them drop around there, and we'll be clinical and put some goals away. But no, but yeah, let's hope we can find our shooting boots, because if we do, then I don't think anyone's going to get in our way. I really don't. We've got too much.
You know what, Mike? Just very quickly before you wrap things up. Looking back on this first half of the season so far, the good thing about it is we've had all these injuries. We've had this recent poor form.
Yeah,
we're still top of the league. We're still top of the Champions League. Well, not top of the Champions League, but we're one of the top teams in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And we're through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We're getting players coming back from injury, especially in attack. The defenders won't be too far behind in like Mosquera, Gabriel, and Hencape. They won't be too far behind. If those players all come back and can stay fit for the large part of the business end of the season, and we start to click.
Yeah,
it looks very, very positive. I mean, we, by anybody's standards, beginning of the season when we saw the fixtures and we saw the first 5 games, we thought, okay, we'll see where we are. We're at the top of the league. Then we've gone on that winning run, and everybody was like, Arsenal ain't conceded, and we're in the top of the league.
Yeah.
Injury, but every game was an injury. Every game was a new injury to somebody else. And then the Gabriel one, when it happened in the Brazil game. But we're still getting through. Yes, we've still got mistakes to rectify in terms of these late goals that we're conceding, but everybody else is conceding late goals as well, so we're not the only team. Yes, we could be playing better. I believe we will start playing better the second half of the season. You don't want to burn yourself out like we have done in like the years ago. Sort of rush to get those points and stuff like that. If we just pick up our pace, finish our chances, get these injured players back, give competition for places, we should have a successful second half of the season and see more goals. That's what I think anyway. And if not, well.
Well, fingers crossed. Yeah, I hope so too. I just hope we just get a good run. I think all we need, personally, I just think all we need is just a good like couple of months where everyone's like available and we can just go on that run, get a string of wins, and then just generate a lead. And I think that's just all we need. And if it coincides with the end of the season, the last the championship rounds of the season, the run-in, that would be fantastic, because you've always been short-handed, when it comes to that. So, or the players are just running on fumes, So fingers crossed. We don't want no Dubai trip this year. We don't need that. We want to go hard in all the competitions. We're in the semi-finals of one. We're sitting pretty in the other two, and obviously the next one kicks off with a favourable draw against Portsmouth, away. Again, it will be like a cup final for them, but we should have too much quality for them, once the first 20 minutes are out the way and they've, run themselves, gassed themselves out. So you're right. Yes, thank you for your time, Steve. Really appreciate it. As always, have you back very, very soon. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to Charles. Thanks to Goody Chick. Thanks to Hente, Neil, Brenny, everybody else that's been watching the show and supporting the show since we started this season and beyond. Really, it's been really, really, really appreciate it, and obviously it's growing. We'll be back. I'm not sure when, actually. Maybe after the Brighton game or the day after. But if not, it'll probably be in the new year, because obviously things might be a little bit crazy here. But if not, all that's to have to say is wishing you all a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
I won't say don't drink too much. Drink as much as you can, because I'm going to do that now, and get the rum out. I think Brenny's probably got it out already as well, so fair play to him. But yeah, I'm going to get the run out and settle my nerves after that and watch the penalties back. And I can relax watching them this time. But, all the best. Come on, you Rez. Take care, everyone.